Right. Okay. Let's get that all set up. Hey! Hi. Do you like free things? Things that are free that don't cost money? Like any money? Well, have I got a deal? That was awful. I'm doing something else. I have a strange hobby of scrolling through Steam, going to specifically the horror category and turning the price down to 0, and just finding every free horror game possible and adding them to my library. I do this every a month or so, and I literally have over 70 games that are just free horror games saved to my Steam. Not all of them are really horror games, but a good most of them are. And I wanted to talk about them because it sounded like fun. And yeah, I'm going to. So, today I'm going to be talking about 5 free horror games on Steam, and I'm just going to be talking about, a basic plot rundown. I'm not going to get into any spoilers at all. I'm not really going to, give you a play-by-play of them. I'll show some footage here and there throughout, but, it's not going to be super in-depth, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the games, because I have opinions, and I'm an opinionated person, and I want to share that with you for no reason. I don't know. You're the one watching the video. Don't judge me for that. Now, you may be asking, why am I talking about Steam free horror games? Because while there are a lot of free horror games on Steam, there are even more on things like itch.io or GameJolt. And the reason is because I don't want to tackle itch.io or GameJolt. There is so much on there. Because Steam has a bit more barrier for entry. You actually have to pay to put a game on Steam, and itch.io and Steam and itch.io and GameJolt, you don't have to pay to put anything on there. You can just upload it no matter what. So I think this is a better way to weed out some of the not quite as content worthy content, but there are still a lot of games on there. And if you want me to cover some on itch.io or GameJolt, let me know. I don't know if I will, though. Also, just a disclaimer immediately, I'm going to be talking about a bunch of games in this video, and I do not want you to go and harass the creators of these games. Seriously, do not do that. It is not cool. Nothing I say in these videos is going to be really that negative anyway, but even if it were negative, these people are indie developers. They do not deserve harassment of any kind. Seriously, I'm talking to you right now. You, if you're thinking about it, no, don't do it. Don't you do it. First, I'm going to establish a couple rules so this isn't a complete mess, which, let's be real, it already is. But we're going to go off to 4 criteria to tell you my thoughts on each game. Those criteria are going to be: 1, quality. Is the game well made? Does it run well? Are there any game-breaking glitches that I encountered? Is the art direction good? 2, enjoyability. Did I have fun with it? Did it deliver what it sold to me? These are horror games, so if they're not enjoyable, but they're effectively scary, that's going to be a factor as well. 3, of course, we're talking about horror games, so horror. Was it scary? What was it unsettling? What genre was it? And if it was a specific genre, did it deliver on the specifics of that genre pretty well? And 4, innovation. A lot of these games are first attempts, very first games that people ever created, or passion projects that someone was working on for years. So, because they were made without any incentive of money. So did they create something new, something that has never been done before? Or if they previously used tropes or concepts or gameplay mechanics, did they innovate on them in an interesting way? And finally, I'll top each entry off with whether I recommend the game, specific games that I think are similar, so you can kind of base your willingness to play based off of that, and some reasons why I think you might not like the game. Generally, though, I'm going to be pretty unserious in this video. You should probably play all these games, in my opinion. I think they're all worth playing, even the ones that aren't as good. Although in this specific one, I have other games on my list that are way worse than these. All these games are, in my opinion, good games. So yeah, let's get into it. Pla is a game created by Gestor Games. It's a pretty simple space-based puzzle game, and that's actually all I'm going to tell you about it. Because this is one of those games, I'm sure you've heard this from a million people talking about video games before, that you really need to experience for yourself the first time. It's not very long, you can beat it in an afternoon, and again, it's free, so there's not really much reason, unless you don't have a computer, but there are playthroughs online if you want to experience it that way. I don't really know how to put into words exactly my thoughts on Pla, so I'm just going to read you the Steam review. This is the real Steam review that I left on this game after I played it. This game genuinely deeply affected me. I cannot express in words how this game's story has impacted me. I don't want to say too much in this review, because if you are on this page and you haven't played this game yet, you really should. But I am not exaggerating when I say this game is a work of art. Now, I want to caveat that with saying, do not play this game if you're sensitive to topics of suicide and depression. While this game is amazing, and I genuinely think it's a very good game, it gets pretty dark. So, keep that in mind. But seriously, go play Pla. It's worth it. Awaria! I think that's how you pronounce it. Awaria? Yeah, something like that. Awaria is a game created by Van Ripper. Also think that's how you pronounce it. Who, fun fact, created Helltaker? Let me look that up so I'm not saying that wrong. Yes, Helltaker, which doesn't really mean much to me, but I'm sure it does to some of you watching this video. It's a game that I could best describe in 3 words. Lesbian ghost mechanics. Let me expand upon that. Awaria is a 2D bullet hell where you play as a mechanic sent into a facility to fix various broken machines while ghosts try and kill you. It's also super freaking gay. Like, I'm not kidding when I say this game is probably one of the gayest games I've ever played, which is shocking considering some of the other games on this list and that I've played Baldur's Gate 3. Awaria is fairly short and not that difficult. I mean, take it from Bad Gamer here. I didn't play it on the hardest difficulty, and I didn't 100% complete it because I'm not that good at video games. But generally, you could probably beat most of it in an afternoon, and it wouldn't be that hard. But I think the thing I could say best about this game is it's just really charming and almost kind of cozy in tone. Like, it's everything from the gameplay to the dialogue cutscenes between every level. It's just really sweet and cute and wholesome. Even the slightly horny aspects of it. It's just a cute game in general, and I like it a lot. Getting into our criteria, number 1, quality. This is probably just generally the best made game on the list. The mechanics are crisp, the music is fantastic, the art direction is inspired. It's gorgeous, genuinely. Enjoyability, it's a lot of fun to play, and it's just got this very particular vibe that's just really comfortable and enjoyable. And I found myself, even in the, because it's got some hard moments, I found myself even in the difficult parts of this game just having a good time. Horror is definitely this game's worst category. Like, it's not ever really scary. It's difficult at times, yeah, but it's not really scary in any way. It does have a spooky vibe, which is why I'm including it on this list at all, but if you're looking for horror, try something else, probably. And as far as innovation goes, well, you tell me. If you've ever heard of another game that has the premise lesbian ghost mechanics, please let me know. Genuinely, I would love for you to let me know that, because that game sounds awesome and I want to play it. I really enjoyed this game. I definitely recommend it. I think it's a fun one to play, and especially if you like games similar to like Binding of Isaac or Ultra Kill is another one that's like, it's kind of similar in vibe. Other point, if you hear the word lesbian ghost mechanics and start frothing at the mouth, you'll love this game. I don't recommend this game if you're homophobic, I guess, so your opinion doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, I hope you're happy. I had to buy overalls and a spacesuit for this video. Be proud. Also, just so you know, I'm a girl in this segment, so refer to me as such. Also, later segment. Well, we'll get there. I think that's about all I have to say about Awaria. Let's move on to All right, editor me, you need to make that look good. I don't want to just be standing in the dark, okay? Make that look good.
No.
Clap Clap is a game created by Ray Casti, in which you play as a house sitter who gets home invaded in the house they're sitting. And it happens to have the worst possible lighting system in a horror game. Clap on lights. It is probably the scariest game on this list, having a couple like really well done jump scares, and it is a lot of fun. Honestly, it's a good one. I'd say it's a bit more mascot horror-y than any of the other ones I'm going to talk about in this video. It's a little bit walking simulator. There's not really many controls, but there's a dedicated clapping button, which is great and genuinely horrifying. It also fits into the niche of horror games that have kind of a PS1 or VHS style. It's a little analog, which I know is an incorrect use of that term, but it's how the term is used. And it works really well. It gives the game a very eerie sense to it, but it's a lot of fun. Going into the mechanics of this game, you have to physically press a button to clap and turn the lights on and off, which adds a lot of anticipation anytime you enter a room, and it's well done. It's very creepy. Talking quality, this game is really simple mechanics-wise. I mean, there's basically two buttons you press. You can interact with something and you can clap, and that's pretty much it. But that's definitely not a bad thing. It makes the mechanics super easy to get a hang of, and it just kind of grounds it all. It's, you can do your things, and that's basically it. This game isn't trying to be, Resident Evil Requiem. It's just trying to be a simple narrative-based story game. Clap Clap also has really unsettling visuals. Even the kind of goofy bits look creepy. On enjoyability, this game is both really effective at scaring you and also kind of fun and funny in moments. There are books all across the map that have really goofy titles, a lot of them being based around how to kill people, which is just so funny knowing the story of this game. And for horror, again, yeah, it's genuinely quite scary. It had me holding my breath for the whole thing. Its premise is designed in a way that makes you tense and expecting the next thing, and it delivers really well. When it comes to innovation, this is kind of working off an existing idea of turning on lights when you enter a room and using that for horror, but it does it in a unique way that I say is pretty cool. Weirdly, though, I think this game would work best as a VR game. I think, get it to a point where you can track hand movements so that you actually physically have to clap every time you enter a room, and I think it would be really creepy. I recommend this game if you like things like the Haunted PS1 demo discs or other games in that kind of genre. A game that I think this one is very similar to, both in style and tone, is The Salesman by Bad Idea Studios and Johnny Razor, the one that just came out a little bit ago. But I don't recommend this game if you really hate the concept of home invasion. If that really scares you, don't play this game. It won't be a fun one for you. Now, I'm going to turn the lights on because I am straining my eyes to see anything. My Girlfriend Doesn't Know What I'm Into is a game created by Mayri Games, I think. Mayri Games or Myri Games or something similar to that. I don't know. I am bad at pronunciation, so if they're linked in the thing, so if you watch this video, I'm sorry. This game is hard to explain in any way that really makes sense. It's a visual novel where you play as a girl that attends a school.
Hi, Editing Hayden here. That's incorrect. I first played this game I think 2 years ago, and when I originally played it, I didn't realize that you get to select what gender you are at the very beginning. It asks you. You can be male, female, or non-binary. I just accidentally selected the female option, so I thought this game was a lot gayer than it actually was. Still pretty gay, if you want, but doesn't really affect my review at all. I probably should have realized that before I recorded this, but whoever said I was smart.
And gets asked out by this other girl, whose name we'll get into in a second. And it's through various situations it's revealed that she is very psychopathic and kills your best friend and mutilates her. But in the wise words of Dubus Goobus from that one video that he made about Invincible, you're... If you think I'm spoiling this game by talking about that reveal, I'm not. It happens in the first, 10 minutes of gameplay, and it's in the title of the game. And this game gets so much crazier than that. Genuinely, it's hard to convey exactly what this game's vibe is because it's so weird. Things go off the rails with time loops and branching storylines and timelines and stuff, and it is just a wild game. A feature about My Girlfriend Doesn't Know What I'm Into that is really interesting, but also potentially dangerous, is it lets you name all three of the main characters. You can name yourself, your girlfriend, and your best friend, which does come with a caveat. I do want to warn against naming them after real people. In the footage that you're going to be watching, it's not a problem because I didn't use anyone's real name, but when I first played this game 2-3 years ago, I named the characters after me, my IRL best friend, and a fictional character because I didn't have a girlfriend at the time and I still don't. But it gets really uncomfortable at moments, especially with the best friend character. Seeing pretty brutal descriptions of mutilation be discussed with my best friend was just gross and uncomfortable. So if you play this game, I don't recommend naming the characters after real people. It's just kind of nasty and gets really weird, so just bear that in mind. I think to properly explain the vibe of this game, you need to take the concept of Yansim and mix it with the execution of Slay the Princess. And if that sounds insane to you, you're right. However, it kind of works really well. As far as quality goes, this is a well-made visual novel. It's not perfect. It's obviously someone's, first attempt at making a game, but it's done well. I think there were a couple moments that had some grammatical errors, but that can easily be chalked up to either this wasn't someone's first language, which I don't think this game was based in English, or it's someone who's pretty young making the game, so I definitely don't fault the creator for that at all. Enjoyability, as hard as this game is to explain, I really like it. It's honestly one of my favorites in this list. I'd say I'd go Pleh and then this one, but it's just such a specific vibe that really sticks with you. It's stuck with me. Again, I played this game for the first time 2-3 years ago, and I've thought about it ever since. When it comes to horror, this game's selling point is the girlfriend that doesn't know what you're into, and she has some really gruesome scenes, but a lot of them are very over the top and almost slapstick in a way. The real horror of this game comes in with the existentialism of it all, and that is done very well. It's a doozy. And finally, for innovation, I have mentioned a couple of other games in this segment, but this game does every concept in it in such an interesting and strange way. Yeah, it's taking a lot of inspiration from various places. There's some clear Yansim or just yandere character type mixed with, a DDLC, Slay the Princess sort of era of psychological horror, but it does it in such a unique way that I'm definitely saying this game innovates. It's wild. So finally, I recommend this game. I think it's good, it's creepy, and it's one that you need to keep playing through till the end because it has twists and turns. I think especially if you like, as mentioned earlier, Slay the Princess or Yet Another Killing Game is another one that I think fits a similar vibe. You'll enjoy this game. However, if you don't think this is hot, you should probably skip out on this one. Also, I'm going to get close for this moment. I want to reiterate, do not harass any of the people who made the games in this video. There was a problem with the person who made this game and the situation behind it, and this game's actually not currently available on Steam. It's still on itch.io if you want to play it, and I recommend you do, but the reason it's not available on Steam is because the creator got harassed so much at the release of it that they had to take it down. And that is so unfair and uncool. And if I get a whiff that any of you have gone and harassed the people I mentioned in this game, I will personally find you and take all your teeth. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Finally, last game on the list, Sayate Station, created by, I forgot to write down who created this game. Give me a second, I'll go check that. Oh no. Their name's in a different language. I think it's Japanese. I think they're Japanese, but it has Viv next to it. I'm going to call them Viv. I think that's right. Created by Viv. They're linked somewhere. Sayate Station. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I looked it up like 3 times and I'm still not sure. This game is really unsettling. That's like the best way I can describe it. It's just unsettling. It's a simple narrative RPG horror game that is just, it's so chilling at moments. It's about an office worker on his train ride home who gets trapped in basically a purgatory with his coworker, and just things escalate so quickly. Kind of takes the progression of like an escape room where you're in an area and there's some puzzles you need to solve, and then once you solve them, you open up a bigger area and there's some more puzzles you need to solve there, and then you move on to another one and then another one. But it's got these narrative threads throughout it that there's twists and there's turns and things happen that I didn't expect, and it's just so creepy. Well, I mentioned that Clap Clap is the scariest game on this list. This one is the creepiest. While Clap Clap has some really good jump scares, this one just has a very specific tone. A lot of these games that I've talked about so far are kind of lighthearted. Even the darker ones, they have moments to breathe, the moments of jokes, pushing the chair in play, the concept of my girlfriend doesn't know what I'm into, the books in Clap Clap. But this one, even in the moments where things are fun or funny or just calm, there is an underlying air of malice and disturb. It's just a very visceral game to play. I think that's the best way I can describe it, is visceral. And the ending really caught me off guard. It's foreshadowed. The ending really caught me off guard. It's foreshadowed excellently, and when you get to the end, you're like, oh, how did I not realize that's what's going on? But it's a shock when you get there. And oh boy. For the quality category, visually, this game is breathtaking. It's not like super highly realistic. It's got a fairly simple art style, but the art style so effectively pulls off the cute vibe of the sort of pseudo-visual novel aspects of it, while still so expertly capturing that general tone of uncomfortability the entire time. For game mechanics, though, it's got a couple of kind of janky moments, but nothing that's too game-breaking or that really impacts my review at all. Just a couple moments that are kind of like, oh, that was annoying or frustrating or whatever. When it comes to enjoyability, I love this game. It's terrifying and horrific, and it works so well. It's one of the best psychological horror games I have played in the last couple of years, and I play a lot of psychological horror games, so this one definitely ranks high on this level. For horror, I mentioned this game kind of has a couple of like jump scary moments, but that's really not what this one's about. It's about the psychological torture that the main character goes through the entire time, and by proxy, you. It's oh boy. When it comes to innovation, I feel like a lot of the concepts in this game have been done before. It's got, gameplay mechanics that are pretty well known and utilized. It is a bit older than the rest of the games on this list, so that's something to take into account. But just in concepts, a lot of this is reiterating on tropes that show up in horror a lot. But even still, I think it does them all in a very effective way, and it utilizes them in a way that I did not expect. So I'm still saying this game innovates. Generally, I recommend this game. I think you should play this game. Especially if you like other psychological horror games. Specifically, it's got a very Silent Hill vibe, or it's similar in style to Corpse Party, but not as weird as Corpse Party. It's just generally a very well done game. I don't recommend this game if you struggle with psychological horror, blood, or trains. but I know there's a high chance that most people watching this video don't struggle with trains. In conclusion, I like all these games, and I think you should play them, because they're well made. Some of them are kind of janky at moments, and not, triple A level, although I think some of them are better than triple A games recently. But they're well done. And the whole point of this video is to kind of shine a spotlight on some of these indie developers, these people that have only made 1 or 2 games ever, and are doing this for literally no pay because they're passionate about this and they want to break into this market and get a foot in the door. And I know just how hard that is. I am an indie developer. I've only made 1 game myself. It's free. It's really bad. Way worse than every game on this list. But I know how difficult that can be. And I want to give these people credit because they did something super hard and they did it really well. And here's the ultimate thing. Even if these games weren't good, which all of the ones in this video, in my opinion, are, but not all of the games on my Steam library are, there is value in these games. There's a lot of value here because someone did something they were passionate about and sent it out to the world. They gave it to you to play, and I appreciate that. I respect that. TLDR, go play these games and go support the developers that created them. A lot of them have other games either in the works or recently released, and I am really excited for most of them. I follow all of these creators on Steam and other platforms, and I want to tell you guys about them because they're so cool. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this kind of random video that I've had an idea for a while. If you want me to talk about all 70 plus the other games on my Steam library that fall into this category, I really won't talk about all of them because, again, some of them aren't really horror games. They're just, Steam is weird about its tags. But let me know. I'll make more videos like this. This was a lot of fun to script for and play these games and get to know them. And I had fun today, so I hope you did too. And if you want to watch another video on my channel, too bad. I don't really have that many. But yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, auf Wiedersehen.